Hi, this is Team 33 from Zhongzhen. I'm Zephyr.
And I'm Briar.
I'm Ryan.
And we'll show you how we can make our school better.
So, follow us on this journey. That takes us to Zhongshan.
Okay. 中正
Down to Taichung.
We're coming to an interview. Right now we are with
and to this recording studio.
cheese. Welcome.
To TEALPRINT.
So hi, we are currently in Donghai University's Carbon Neutral Park, right in front of its sustainable building. Let's take a look at what exactly allows this building to be classified as sustainable, shall we? Okay, let's look at the floor. Over here, the floor has been lifted up for better air circulation, letting the building cut down on air conditioning and heating, and thus cutting down on energy use. The walls are made from bamboo, a great material with its low carbon emissions, and bamboo has been credited as being one of the most sustainable materials available, as well as recycled steel. Okay, now let's take a look at its power source. Okay, so this building also uses a bunch of solar panels. You can see that it is mounted on the tilted roof, which best allows it to capture sunlight from Taiwan's latitude. Anyways, this array of solar panels is just enough to power the entire park you can see around you, which is just giant, and solar power is genuinely a great source of energy, and yeah. Okay, so the building back in Taichung utilized materials like bamboo, which are great for sustainability. However, if we want to build something like a multi-story building, for example, in our school, that's not exactly such a great material. So that's why most schools default to things like concrete. And concrete, with its durability, versatility, and compactness, it's not hard to see why it has cemented its role in the infrastructure industry. Okay, so 60% of the materials used in building construction is solely concrete. However, concrete is not that great of a material. It causes greenhouse gases, uses a ton of water, and destroys the environment. This is a picture of how Portland cement is made. The stage concrete is in before the hydration process. Over here in limestone excavation, you can see that the hill has been hollowed out for the quarry. In fact, this is Hualien, Taiwan. This is part of the Taroko National Park. This was previously a mountain, and it has been hollowed out just for the concrete industry. Back here, you can see that the kiln, which is used to heat up the cement, often uses things like coal or diesel, which of course causes a lot of carbon emissions. And further on in the hydration process, obviously it uses a lot of water. So let's look at some of the alternatives, namely green concrete. Well, what is green concrete, you may ask? Well, green concrete is a broad term for concrete made using environmentally friendly materials or methods. Of course, there are a lot of green concretes, so let's just take a look at two of them which fit our project. This is slag concrete. Slag concrete uses a byproduct of iron-making blast furnaces in place of Portland cement. It has the benefits of being eco-friendly, having enhanced durability, a higher compressive strength compared to traditional cement, and lower permeability. However, it does have the potential for delayed setting time, and it of course has a higher cost compared to Portland cement. The next one we are going to be talking about is called ashcrete. Ashcrete is a kind of concrete that incorporates the use of fly ash, a common byproduct of coal plants. Ashcrete has basically the same benefits and problems as slag concrete, but we do have to mention that it relies on coal plants. And of course, as we all know, coal energy is something that we are hoping to get rid of in the next coming few years. Okay, one more thing that we do need to talk about are industrial standards. For example, concrete tests. Tests are often built around traditional concrete. For example, this is ASTM C109, a standard test method for the compressive strength of cement. However, this test time frame doesn't always reflect the true strength of the concrete, as some green concretes gain strength over time, like what we just learned about ashcrete and slag concrete. However, we can hope that this is improved in the next few years. Okay, thank you.
Next, I'm going to talk about waste reduction. And this part is water conservation. And what about think about is rainwater. Collecting rainwater is a simple way for schools to conserve water and reduce waste. It can be used for watering gardens, cleaning and flushing toilets, helping to reduce water bills and prevent flooding. And let's look at the actual instance of water conservation.
Okay, let's talk about Zhongshan's rainwater collection system. Over here, there are 56 tons of rainwater. The rainwater comes from water from the roof. It comes down and is stored in this massive pool under the ground over here, you can't see it. But during the dry season, rainwater will be pumped back up and into those tanks over there.
And then second is paper recycling. Paper user experiment in schools. To cut down waste, schools can do a simple study to check how much paper is used in a month. By keeping track of how much paper is used each day in classrooms and office, students can see how much is needed and how much is thrown away. And the last is electronic versions of textbooks. Inclusive technology. Digital textbooks let students change text size, listen to audio, and use interactive tools, helping those with vision or learning problems. They also save paper, reduce cost, and always provide the latest content. And that's all. Thank you.
But wait, how about electricity? Common knowledge tells us that schools aren't dainty users of the electricity. Quite reversed, in fact. And Taiwan's electricity mainly comes from coal, and that causes a lot of greenhouse gas. That's why for our school buildings, we'd like to build our own system to not keep rely on coal. Okay, let's look at the renewable energy. For the three main renewable energy, the first one is hydropower, the second is solar power, and the third one is wind power. To decide for this project, solar power will be the way to go. Here's 3 reasons why we're going to choose this. Firstly, solar power is available basically everywhere, and solar panel is easy to set up. Furthermore, solar panels are simple to maintain. This is the 3 reasons. This is why we're going to choose this.
Okay, and what do you think could be done to help improve the aforementioned topic? And what could be implemented?
好，那这个问题呢，就是我们
Alright, so about this question. 6 years ago, our school began to apply for the usage as well as financial subsidies for solar power. This power was at first used for our aquaponics pond. The new Taipei City Economic Development Bureau then rented our roof as a base for solar panels and commissioned companies to help build the relevant infrastructure. The electricity generated is used to power the school, and the rest of the energy is sold back to Taipower. 10% of the profit is even given back to the school to further develop sustainable initiatives.
Okay, thank you so much for the interview.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, thank you all for watching.
And we had a great time.
Yeah, but you know what? I tried to make a joke about cement, but it didn't set well.
Dude, not now!